Kolkata has an apology to make. Many of you have seen, whether live or afterwards, the scenes from the Salt Lake Stadium on the 13th of December when the whole place looked like Vietnam, when the whole place looked like Hanoi after bombing, chairs all over the stadium, the empty plastic water bottles littering the place, and the great Lionel Messi made a brief appearance for all of 15 minutes when none of the 50-odd thousand crowd which had gathered could even see a glimpse of him. Unfortunately for Kolkata, this is probably the 8th instance in 70-odd years, starting from the 1967 arson that happened when Conrad Hunt was running across Eden Gardens protecting the national flag of India and the flag of West Indies. It has happened in Kolkata with ominous regularity. And it has happened because of the fact every time there was a collusion of either callous or corrupt administration. Sometimes they were printing extra tickets. Sometimes they were opening the gates and letting people in. Sometimes, out of political hubris, people had no control of what the event was supposed to be. In the case of the last event, there wasn't a foggiest planning what was happening on the ground, and the big political mandarins took over the complete control of the events and made a mess of it. We have witnessed it many times before. We have witnessed it during the World Cup semi-final of 1996. We have witnessed it when Sachin Tendulkar was run out in 1999. Some of these events were probably cobbled up and managed somehow. Yes, as a Calcuttan, as a part of the city, we have an apology to make to the nation. But the question today is that the only apology that the nation overall owes to the sports-loving people of this country, this population of 140 crores? Have anyone in their living memory seen such an obscene expression? Such an obscene expression of VIP culture, such an obscene spluttering of wealth, such an insult to the whole philosophy, the whole inclusive philosophy of any kind of sports on the face of the planet. And this was concerning soccer. This was concerning one of the most popular soccer stars ever. And soccer galvanizes the world together, the rich and the poor, the young and the old. When people across the 200-odd nations of the world come together for this sport. And what did we see over here? What we saw was not only, it was a combination of greed, obscenity, and insult. In a country where 60% of people hardly scrape together 20,000 rupees in a month, the government of these 4 states, the central government, had no weight on their conscience to sell tickets for 20,000 rupees in a stadium. We were splashing all across the social and the conventional media that a handshake was for 1 lakh, a selfie was for 1 crore, a hug was for 5 crores, a meet and greet was for 10 crores. What was it about? In the 96 to 100 hours Messi spent on the soil of this country, we did not even see a serious session for an hour when Messi would have reacted, either interacted with either the footballers or the footballing coaches or with the young footballers. Messi could have spared 15 minutes somewhere for the Indian women's team who for the first time had qualified for the Asian Championships. This theatre of the obscene that has happened over 5 to 6 days had greed written all over it, had showmanship written all over it, had a kind of insulting display of wealth written all over it, in the front of general people who were coerced into the stadium, paying ticket fees which were far more than what they earn in a month. And this was done with the tacit, the explicit agreement of both the central and the state government. So the question remains that why is it only Kolkata who owes an apology for this Messi massacre? It is a very small fact with which we end today's outpouring of grief. And this small fact is that in this year 2025, in the fourth or fifth largest economy of the world, for the lack of 30 crores, the Indian National Football League or the ISL has been orphaned. We have no hesitation, we have no shame, we have no feeling of self-respect when we say that no, ISL may not happen this year. The 300, 400 footballers who are completely left between the devil and the deep blue sea, they have nothing, they have no earning to look forward this year. This is how much we love Indian football. For 30 handshakes, you could have financed Indian football for a year. So this theatre of the absurd, what is painful is, if this was conceived like one of these prodigious marriages that these billionaires and billionaires many times overhold, if this was like a item number in a private party, if this was a 5-star gathering where the diamonds were sparkling and the notes were littered all over the floor, it is your business. The public has nothing to say about it. Unfortunately, public money has been involved in it. Unfortunately, the approval of the public sports organizations have been involved in it. And it is not really an apology only for Kolkata to make, but I think each and every stakeholder who organized this theatre of the obscene has an apology to make to the whole nation. And unknowingly, Messi has probably done a ton of good to the failing ethos of our sporting community. Messi has sensitized the thousands, the tens of thousands who came to the stadium, and we have been sensitized and made aware as to how a so-called sporting event should not be held. Thank you.